Chapter 12. Great CIOs aren't afraid to stumble on the way to the top. A quick question for you. Are you afraid to fail? Would you be willing to take on responsibility for an IT department that might not be a success? I'm willing to bet that a lot of us would say no. CIOs who are perfect are rewarded, while CIOs who fail are kicked to the curb. However, I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. Get ready to fail if you want to succeed. How to kill your CIO career. In your job right now, if you fail, then that end of the year review would be a tough one to sit through, right? Let's face it, failure is not something that is rewarded in our workplace. And in fact, it's something that we all actively avoid if we possibly can. However, maybe we're just setting ourselves up for a much bigger career disaster. Can we all admit that the world as we know it is changing? Can you remember watching old-time movies where the hero would get a job at a company and then would spend his entire career working there? We all know that those days are long gone. Something else is changing also. Our jobs. The job that you had when you started working may already be gone. The CIO one that you're doing right now probably won't exist in 2, maybe 3 years from now? This all means that you're going to have to change, and change involves risk, and along with risk comes the very real possibility that you're going to fail. How to become a success by failing. Well, that failing stuff doesn't sound like it's going to be any fun. But wait, has anyone else ever failed? Turns out that yes. In fact, most successful people can look at their past and point to failures that helped them to get to where they are now. The poster child for this kind of good failure would be Howard Schultz, the guy who founded the Starbucks chain of coffee shops. We all know and love the Starbucks store today, but when Howard first started it, he really blew it. There were no chairs. He played lots of opera music, and his menu was in Italian. Clearly, he quickly realized that he had failed, adjusted, and then went on to become a big success. You can do the same. You need to learn to make lots of small bets. Some of these bets will pay off, and some won't. It's through what you learn from the failures that you'll be able to make tiny changes to your approach and try again. If we keep doing things the same way that we've always been doing them, then we will eventually stagnate and then we'll go into decline. However, if you have the courage to start to fail and learn from those failures, then the future contains limitless possibilities for both you and your career. What all this means for you. CIOs who are afraid to fail will never become a true success. Oh, sure, they may do okay for a few years, but when things really get rough, they'll wash out. If you're willing to adjust how you view failure, your career can take off. If you can start to look at failures as being simply learning experiences that are not to be feared, but they are to be used to become a better CIO, then you'll be able to grow and become better at what you do. No, you can't be an idiot about this and do silly things that cause your IT department to fail. But if you try your hardest and your department still fails, then you will have learned what doesn't work. The big deal is that it takes courage for you to be able to do this. CIOs who are a success have had failures in their past. It's from the forge of failure that the steel of success is formed. Learn how to make small bets so that you can learn what works and what doesn't. Do this well, and you'll become a successful CIO.